Hey there. Hi there. Hyde here again, and we're going to be playing a game called Mind Virus over from itch.io. So we're gonna start here. Yeah, I have no idea what this game is, but we'll find out, right? I think we all will. I love my job, I really do. Working all day at the coffee shop, talking to the lovely customers who have many stories to share, while I serve them freshly made coffee, is honestly a dream come true. I already know that this game was written by someone who's never been a barista in their life. Because no one enjoys this job. No. Hyde is very aware that no one enjoys this job. And that's fine, right? You do not have to enjoy this job if you do not. It's a very common job. A lot of people have it. And, yeah. It is kind of terrible in a way, isn't it? It's a very thankless job. So, if you are unlike this fictionalized character, and you did not enjoy serving freshly made coffee, if that was not a dream come true for you, that is perfectly acceptable. Please do not think that this was the norm. Yeah, still, rest is also important. And there is nothing better than finally arriving at the doorstep of your house and unlocking the door. That's a dream come true. Finally being able to take your shoes off, relaxing in your home. Yeah, that's a dream come true. Especially after a nice warm shower. Oh, crawling into bed at the end of the night. That is a dream come true. Not serving people coffee. Sorry. Like, it's an important job, right? Don't get me wrong. Someone who drinks that cup of coffee could end up flying an airplane in the next 8 hours, right? And having that cup of coffee might mean that they avoid something dangerous, like, I don't know, like an error flying into their engine, right? And everyone dying. So yeah, like, it's an important job. Don't let anyone tell you your job's not important, because there's never any way of objectively knowing how important or unimportant a job is until after the fact. Like, in that fictionalized example of an airplane getting a bird caught in its engine, which happens all the time, don't get me wrong. This is not something I'm making up. Like, birds get sucked into jet engines all the time. And it's very dangerous. Because those systems are very delicate, right? One bird skeleton is all it takes to alter airflow and result in less than ideal thrust, as it were. Yeah, so don't let anyone tell you that your job is unimportant if you're selling coffee. It's not true. If you're out there as a barista, your job's important. It's just a matter of when and how much. But it does make a difference. It will always make a difference every single day. Yeah. Still, rest is also important, and there is nothing better than finally arriving at the doorstep of your house and unlocking the door. That's when the familiar smell of home reaches your nostrils. Ah, yes, cat urine. That smells like home. And suddenly, all your worries are gone. Once I put all of my things away, made myself a cup of coffee, and changed... You really like coffee, don't you? Maybe you're just a coffee addict, huh? Like, I get you. I love coffee, too. That doesn't mean I enjoy making it for other people. And changed into something more comfortable, I sat behind my computer and turned it on. While the program slowly loaded in, I held the cup of coffee in my hands and mindlessly stirred its contents with a spoon, letting the sugar melt. Finally, a low ding came from the computer, indicating that everything had loaded in successfully. I place the cup on my desk and type my favorite website in the search engine. Oh man, what's your favorite website, right? Like mine currently is youtube.com. Technically it's the creator studio, but I don't know the URL for that, right? Like I just have it set up. So every time I type in YouTube, it automatically redirects me to the creator studio, which is very useful for me, right? As someone who's uploading a video pretty much every day. Can't get any easier than that. But as you can see, they're very old, right? Type my favorite website into the search engine. So they're not typing this into their like URL bar. They're typing this into Google. And they're Googling Google. Like they're typing google.com into their search bar. I've been there. Yeah, I'm an old man. I get it. That's kind of sad. Afternoon Thoughts wasn't just like any other website. Not for me, at least. I stumbled upon it once when I was looking for tips on managing my sleep schedule. I found a few helpful answers here, so I decided to look into the site's main page to see what else it had to offer. As soon as I saw all the different blog posts and just how sweet and helpful the community was, couldn't help but make my own account. I've been using it ever since. When I opened the website, I came across a few new posts right away. Many of them were typical blog posts asking for tips about everyday things, such as dealing with children, taking care of plants, or buying a house. I don't buy houses every day, but I'm sure someone does, so I can't really fault you for including that, can I? No. There was, however, one post that got my attention as soon as I read its title. Read it. A program that helps with studying. Not the usual studying apps, though. What are the usual studying apps, I wonder? It's 27th of March, 2021. So we're looking about 3 years in the past now, by Hazard Dove. Hey y'all! So I know that this might sound a bit insane, but please bear with me. I've been looking for a useful program to help me with studying. The thing is, I don't mean just any ordinary program that gives you tips and relaxation methods, or whatever that is supposed to help you study and memorize things. I've tried those already, and trust me, they didn't help at all. Maybe you're just plain stupid, Hazard Dove. Yeah, maybe you don't deserve to be in the program you're in, Hazard Dove. Maybe you should just give up. I want a program that has never tried before way of memorizing information. Well, maybe this is why you're having problems, Hazard Dove. This might sound impossible, I know. I might be asking too much here. But I swear that I saw a similar program a few months ago. I tried getting it from their page, but the link wasn't working then. I wanted to try and find it again, but I completely forgot about the name of the program. And I didn't write down the name of the site. You've been going to sketchy websites again, haven't you, Hazard Dove? I'm pretty sure what you were trying to do is download a virus. Some kind of malware, a Trojan, I don't know. If anyone by any chance knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. Thanks a lot. Respond, yeah, you were trying to download a Trojan. Some kind of backdoor malware, as it were. I would suggest that you not do that. A program that helps a person memorize information, yet it's completely different from all the others. In a way, I knew exactly what the person meant, but I had no idea what kind of program they might be referring to. To what kind of program they might be referring. Surely that was impossible. There are already many different programs that help you study by getting rid of distractions or providing material. There really are. There are mindfulness apps. And there are programs that help you kind of focus by locking your phone screen from yourself for a set period amount of time. I don't think that's what we're talking about either here. And as far as I know, the research on those is rather inconclusive. I don't think they help. No, I really don't think they will. But that's fine. There is such a thing as the placebo effect for behaviors as well. So if you assume, or if you believe strongly enough that a program like that will help, maybe it will. Yeah. Could there seriously be a program like this? Though I had no idea what they were looking for, I decided to leave a comment. Yeah, what you're looking for is some malware. Specifically some ransomware. I can help you out, but once I do, you're gonna have to pay me an exorbitant fee to get your computer back. Comment by Cat in a Spacesuit. Cute name. 7:03 p.m. Hi! I don't know what program you might be talking about, but I'm gonna give you an answer anyway because I'm kind of a jerk. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna give you an answer anyway, like I think I know what I'm talking about, because I'm arrogant, and I'm kind of a jerk, yeah? Yeah, like I know. And if I don't know, I'm gonna pretend like I do. But I wish you luck with finding it. Please be sure to share the link of the program for us too. Winky face. Really curious to see what it's like. I finished typing up the message and pressed send. Once it was sent, I bookmarked the post and moved on to the rest of the posts. While I found a few posts that were interesting enough to engage in, like a post discussing a favorite book of mine, I didn't feel like joining the conversation. I was still thinking about the program that Hazard Dove was looking for. What could such a program possibly look like? How would it work? It sounded like complete nonsense, yet they were sure that they had seen it before. It doesn't sound like complete nonsense. It sounds like very vague, right? They didn't describe it at all. They just said it existed and that it was like nothing else they've ever seen before. And I've said that about a lot of things, right? Like, there are a lot of things like nothing else I've ever seen before. Like aerogels. Have you ever seen aerogels? They're a solid, and yet they have like a high proportion of air. For, I guess volumetric measurement would be the best way of describing it. Right? So they're a solid with a high proportion of air, volumetrically. Very fascinating materials. But they're like nothing I've ever seen before either. Yeah. Unfortunately, one of these things exists, and the other is very vague. So I don't know. I don't know if this program exists, Hazard Dove. After looking through endless posts ranging from financial problems to adorable photos of tiny frogs. Okay, I could see that. Like, frogs are adorable. I don't care if their mouths are humongous compared to their, like, face. Frogs are adorable. Their tiny little eyes are so cute. And the way they have those little, well, some of them, like tree frogs, they have those little... They're not really suckers, but they have those little cute little paws, or, those little suction pads on the ends of their toes. They're very adorable, I think. Yeah? And, frogs, believe it or not, are very useful environmental indicators of health. Because, most amphibians have, a semi-permeable skin. Technically we do too as humans, but, amphibians tend to have mucus covering their semi-permeable skin, and that allows for better gaseous transfer, right? Like, fluid transfers occur easier, more easily through, mucus-coated skin than not mucus-coated skin. But the flip side of that, not only do they exchange gases, but they also allow heavy metals and other toxins into their bodies more easily because of it. So if a waterway happens to be polluted, then frogs and other amphibians tend to be one of the first things affected by it. So they're a very good proxy for the health of a waterway. I noticed a notification on the bottom right corner of my screen. It was a response from Hazard Dove. I swiftly clicked on the notification and let the post load up again. Comment by Hazard Dove, 7:49. So we're about, what, 42 minutes after I think we posted? So almost an hour. Half an hour to an hour. Curse spirals and 4 more. So there were 6 other... Or there were 6 people who posted. One of them was us. Thanks for all the kind recommendations. Well, most of the responses weren't what I was looking for. I did manage to find the program. It's called Think Sharp. Here's a link to anyone who wants to download it. I am not gonna click the link. I do not want ransomware. Thank you very much, Hazard Dove. This seems like some kind of viral marketing campaign. Like, if you are a researcher and you want me to be recruited into your program, into your study, I get it. It's hard to get participants, as it were. But you're not gonna get me like this. You're gonna have to try harder. I'm so glad I found it. I hope it works. I've been struggling with schoolwork for quite a while now. Haha. I seriously don't want to fail. Haha. Let me know if you guys try it out. I'll try and keep you all updated. Might even make a new post reviewing the program later on. I'll look at the program's website. I was surprised by the quick response. They were actually able to find what they were looking for. From the looks of it, the program also seemed to be completely free. Interested in what the program had to offer, I clicked on the link. Once the website was fully loaded, I was welcomed by a large logo. The name of the program was written in a spiky font, making it slightly difficult to read. Under was a longer paragraph explaining how the program works. Think Sharp is a program created by a smaller company by the same name, based in London, England. Our goal is to fully explore the capability of a person's mind and expand our research from there. With our program, Think Sharp, we figured out a way to allow the brain to quickly take in information, store it, and release it once it's no longer needed. With this program, you'll be able to choose what you wish to store in your memories, or pick what you wish to get rid of. This program is still in beta. If you have any issues with our program, please contact us here. He didn't give me a link. I don't want to download the program. Like, it's fine to not download the program, right? I don't have to download this program. Fine, I'll download the program. Intrigued by the description of the program, I decided to download it. Sipped on my coffee cup. That doesn't make sense, right? How do you sip on a coffee cup? You gotta sip the coffee from the cup, right? That's the proper way of doing it. We're a barista again, remember? I sipped on my cup of coffee while it was installed. I installed my cup of coffee. I wish there were a cup of coffee port in modern computers, but there isn't. Like, they got rid of that a long time ago, back when we still had floppy disks. The coffee was already cold at this point. When Think Sharp still wasn't done installing even after I finished my coffee, I started to get a bit impatient. It was quite a large program though, so it only made sense. I stood up from my seat and walked over to the kitchen, where I washed the empty coffee cup. I almost thought about making another cup of coffee, but my thoughts were interrupted by a loud sound coming from the computer. The loud noise slightly took me aback. My computer has never made such a sound before. I returned to my office and checked in on the program. It was done installing. Without thinking twice, I sat back down and opened the program. There's your first mistake, buddy. You should have scanned that. You should have scanned it for malware and ransomware and anything else. Like, I don't know. Anything at all, really. I'm an old man, and I don't do enough scanning of the things I download. That's probably true. I could probably scan it with more programs. Yeah, I could probably afford to do that. But I don't. And even I think this is dangerous, right? Like, he didn't even look at this strange program from this strange website, from this purely legitimate source of advertising. I mean, hosting. Absolutely. Hazard Dove. He was just a normal person looking for a completely unrelated program that he had seen before, right? Like, he had no backing here. Surely. You gotta be careful out there, buckaroos. Trust me on that one. Without thinking twice, I sat back down and opened the program. Same logo that I saw on the website appeared once again. I clicked the begin button right under the logo, then passed through a few pages explaining the functions of the program, as well as the terms and conditions, until I was led to the actual program. Immediately, numerous buttons popped up on the screen. Each button had a different function, yet they were all focused on setting up the program. There was a wide range of adjustments, such as the intensity of the transfer, the amount of information required, if there were different topics similar to what I needed, and so much more. I carefully worked through each of the settings, making sure that I didn't mess up on my very first try. When I was ready, I pressed start. The program instructed me to place my right hand on the computer screen, highlighting the area with an outline of a hand. I carefully placed my hand where I was told and waited. The computer let out a few strange sounds and the program got to work. So I'm guessing this is a touchscreen computer. I actually have a touchscreen laptop, so it's not that strange. But it is strange that he downloaded this program and we weren't sure if it was compatible with our system or not. Right? Like, it might not be. Maybe this is only touchscreen compatible. And I guess that's very in line with us not scanning the program that we downloaded. Because we'll never know, really, if it was a virus, a Trojan, some kind of ransomware. It could have been anything, really. And we just never looked. Maybe we're an old man, right? We're an old man barista serving up coffees at the age of 85. Maybe we are. Who knows? The computer let out a few strange sounds, and the program got to work. Different kinds of symbols, letters, and numbers began flying across the screen. I felt a sharp pain in my head as I watched the progress bar fill up. Yeah, those noises would probably give you a headache. They'd give me one for sure. It seemed like everything was going according to plan, when all of a sudden the progress bar stopped. A large red error appeared on the screen. I tried pulling my hand away, but I couldn't. So we're dealing with something supernatural now, right? Like, we don't even know if this guy has a touchscreen computer. He just put his hand on the monitor. And there's no reason to believe that actually did anything. So he's either in some kind of hypnotic trance, or he's dealing with the supernatural here. But I couldn't. Even if I even tried to move my hand away from the screen, a sharp, stabbing pain traveled straight to my head. It almost felt like I was getting shocked over and over again. Strange symbols began to overflow on the screen. Instead of appearing from one corner and then disappearing in another like before, they now stayed on the screen and tried to find a place to stay. In the meantime, even more symbols kept appearing out of nowhere. It felt like my brain was on fire. No matter how much I tried to move, to scream, to do anything, I couldn't. Terrible, throbbing pain echoed through my whole body, making it impossible for me to even let out a gasp. A single tear fell from my eye as I watched the large error on the screen get bigger. In between the zaps of pain, different kinds of data swarmed different parts of my brain. Suddenly, I knew all of history, from what had happened at the very beginning all the way to what was happening now. I was starting to get lost in all the new information, The shocks of pain were the only things keeping me grounded. I feel like if we turn the computer off, we're gonna go brain dead here. And if I try to turn the program off, nothing is gonna happen. Right? I think there's no good ending here. Either we turn ourselves into some kind of node in the neural network that is the new hyper being that we are becoming, or we end up as some kind of brain-dead vegetable. And I don't mean that term as a pejorative. Like, I mean it literally. We're going to be a source of growing nutrients for the new neural network. I don't know what to do. We're definitely gonna have a problem either way. If I turn the computer off, I am going to have some kind of brain troubles. I know it. I absolutely know it in my heart. So we're gonna turn the computer off and see what it does to us. The pain came in waves. For a moment, everything seemed fine, but then it returned, stronger than ever. When the pain went away, even for a minute, I reached for the off button, attempting to stop the program from going any further. When I pressed it, the computer screen turned black and the pain went away. I thought it was over. I thought I was free. Just a few seconds later, the screen was back up and running without a problem. I tried pressing the off button again. I tried it multiple times, but no matter how many times I did it, the screen always came back up. I felt another strong wave of pain travel through my body. I opened my mouth, wanting to scream, but I couldn't. All I could do was let out a few pained gasps. I waited for the wave of pain to stop. When it did, I stood up from my chair and grabbed onto the cable of the computer's charger, then pulled it out. The cable flew from the socket, but it was no use. The computer kept running. Never a good sign. So we have confirmed that we are not dealing with ransomware after all. We are dealing with a supernatural phenomenon, right? Like, there's no reason for a computer to be running after the power source has been unplugged. Unless we're dealing with a laptop with its own battery, right? In which case it might make sense for it to keep running after we've unplugged the power cable. Yeah. Continue. It was hopeless. There was nothing I could do. The bright error text was now the only thing I could properly read from the computer. The screen was full of scribbles, icons, and symbols. Everything moved around at once. I felt them almost hypnotizing me. Whenever I tried focusing on a symbol, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I watched as it moved from one corner of the screen to another, sometimes hiding behind the other symbols, other times hiding the rest of the symbols behind it. Instead of stopping, the program only got stronger. The sharp waves of pain turned into intense, endless shocks of pain. One last time, I pulled my right hand away from the screen in an attempt to finally free it. You didn't pull it away if you're still attempting to finally free it. Bright sparks flew from the... Why would there be sparks flying from the computer screen? It's a piece of glass. It's a box with, glass separating it from the rest of the electronics. There is no reason for sparks to be flying. This is definitely supernatural. And as I pulled, the program slowly began to let me go. More sparks popped out from the screen. With one last strong pull, my hand was finally free. The palm of my hand was red and covered in blisters. Throbbing pain made me shiver. As soon as my hand was freed, the large blinking error disappeared, and the program closed. The zaps of pain were finally gone, except for the terrible throbbing pain in my head. Though the program was closed, I still saw the symbols floating all around me. As I stared at them, I realized that I knew all their names. All the symbols suddenly had meaning. I knew where they were used. All the documents and papers that included them. I recognized the different letters of different alphabets. I knew everything about them. I reached out my hand to grab one of them, but it simply passed through my hand like a ghost. My head was spinning and overflowing with new information. I knew everything. The truth of the world, the beginning and the end. I could feel the future, slowly coming closer and then passing us by, as if we were on an endless highway of time and space. I knew everything I could possibly know. There was so much pain, so much suffering in the past. And there was even more approaching. Was it the end? What was happening? The headache was only getting stronger. I was sure it would explode any minute. There was so much information, it was so hard to take it all in. The new data had nowhere else to go. My brain was already filled with so much. It didn't stop though, it never did. There was no space left anymore, yet I could feel more coming in. I suddenly knew so much. I knew what lives others had lived. I could feel all the pain they felt, all the joy, all the different emotions. The deeper I looked into the new information I just acquired, the further away I was getting from who I used to be. I couldn't remember my name or what I looked like. What is my name? Is it Lena? Adam? Michael? Ren? Who am I? Who was I? Who will I become? The screen in front of me was now completely dark. On the computer screen, I saw the reflections of a person. They looked so familiar, yet I had no idea who they were. They were crying, too. Their stare was blank. Instead of tears, there was blood flowing down their face. Please help me. It hurts. I try to scream, but I can't. My physical body sits in front of a strange machine inside a room I've never seen before. My eyes are open wide, but they aren't looking. My body is breathing, yet I feel no oxygen. I can't breathe. And just as quickly as all the new information came in, it slowly began to destroy itself, as well as my mind, eating away at everything that I used to be. Everything that I used to know and feel is all gone. Even words. I opened my mouth to speak, yet all the words, all the sentences that I tried to form were gone. They were stolen. Was there even something that I wanted to say in the first place? Every single emotion is gone, and like a robot, I remain silent. Like a computer, I process information and then erase it. It is all too powerful. It hurts the vessel. All the words are gone. My words. Data deleted. Data deleted. Transferring information back to the system. Error. User not connected. Something is wrong. Unknown. In front of me is an endless void. Black and beautiful like the night sky. Take me back? I can't. It's too late. I take one last breath. Looking at the sky outside of the window. It's so beautiful. I close my eyes and let them rest for a while. I watch the symbols in my head move from one side of my vision to another, like on a computer screen. Translating. Error. It's over. It's too late. I'm sorry. Language unknown. Translating. Binary sequence. Binary sequence. The end. You have reached one of the two possible endings. Thank you for playing. If you'd like to return to the beginning and try the second ending, click here. I think we're going to end it there. It was a fun little game, right? A little bit of interactive fiction. Let's see here. It's very interesting that they treated the human mind as something like hardware for a software virus. Because Hyde often thinks very similarly when it comes to that kind of thing. It's not too implausible that a human mind could end up with a software virus. So, even if I'm not a big fan of the game, as it were, I think the idea is fantastic. Yeah. All in all, I would give this 3 out of 5 cigarettes. Yeah. Well done. I quite like the story. It was very interesting. The supernatural elements kind of took me out of it a little bit. You didn't have to put your hand on the screen, right? I think it would have been fine without that element. But it was there. and I guess it wasn't too distracting from the message at play. Yeah, 3 out of 5 cigarettes, not bad. Hyde out.